I never imagined that one day I'd walk into my own house to find a neighbor rummaging through my son's closet like it was a department store sale. I'm Marcus. Recently, I moved back into the lakefront cabin my dad left me, along with my 12-year-old son, Ryan. The property sits on a quiet wooded lot with a long gravel driveway. Peaceful, private, and until this happened, drama-free. The house borders a fancy HOA neighborhood down the hill. We've never been part of it. Different lot, different deed, different everything. But our homes share one gravel road that forks toward the HOA's gated community. That's how I met Karen. She was the self-appointed president of the HOA, even though nobody remembers voting for her. From the day I moved in, she constantly had concerns. First, it was my mailbox being too plain. Then my truck disturbed the natural harmony of the street. You get the idea. But what happened next crossed every possible line. The day I came home early. I usually work weekdays at a nearby marina, but that Thursday I came home at 11 a.m. to grab a forgotten phone charger. As I pulled into the driveway, I noticed something odd. A silver SUV idling by the garage. The side door to the house was wide open. I stepped inside and immediately heard boxes shuffling upstairs. When I reached Ryan's room, I stood frozen. There she was, Karen, in rubber gloves, packing my son's clothes into a tote bin. His drawings were stacked neatly on the bed, his bedding already rolled up. She was calmly organizing as if this were her own spring cleaning project. "What are you doing?" She jumped, dropped a box of Legos, and without missing a beat replied, "You weren't home, so I assumed you moved." HOA rules allow cleanup of abandoned structures. My son needs a quiet place to study, and your property has been underutilized for months. I was too stunned to respond. "You're trespassing." "I have the key," she snapped, waving a generic spare I never gave her. "Your door was unlocked last week during a security patrol. I made a copy. Standard HOA safety procedure." That's when I picked up my phone to call the sheriff. Karen calls 911 first. As I started dialing, she bolted past me down the stairs, screaming into her own phone. "There's a man here threatening me in what looks like an abandoned home." Abandoned. My house, with my boots at the front door, my son's bike on the porch. When the deputies arrived, she was already in tears, sobbing about aggressive homeowners and unauthorized mails. One officer looked at me, standing calmly by the porch. The other looked at Karen, standing in front of a tote labeled Ryan's School Supplies. Justice served swiftly. Turns out I knew one of the deputies. He coached Ryan's Little League team. When I showed him the deed, the spare keys, and the footage from the indoor cam, the story unraveled fast. Karen was charged with unlawful entry and attempted conversion of property. When asked why she thought she could claim our bedroom as storage, her response was, "The HOA said it was fine." But as we established, we're not in the HOA, never have been. The aftermath. Karen was banned from approaching my property, required to pay restitution for the items she damaged, and lost her title as HOA president. Turns out her authority wasn't in the bylaws. She just made it up and nobody ever challenged her. I replaced the locks, reinforced the windows, and installed 2 more outdoor cameras. My son, he got his room back, plus a lock on his bedroom door. His idea. Peaceful again. Mostly. Now when I drive past the HOA entrance, Karen glares from behind her curtains. Her son still doesn't have a quiet study space, and my house remains untouched, just as it should be. Lesson learned: never underestimate HOA Karen, or how far they'll go when they think no one's looking.